Hello, everybody. Trey Ratcliff here. I'm going to show you a little bit about the new Luminar AI and how it can be used for portraits. Okay, it's super powerful. Probably some of the things you can do with it is quite unethical, but you can choose where your line is when it comes to modifying people's bodies and faces. All right. By the way, if you hang on to the end, you can hear my own thoughts that have nothing to do with Luminar about like face dysmorphia and body dysmorphia. I think everyone has it. But anyway, let's get into it. Let me go ahead and reset this thing back to the beginning, and I'll show you how powerful this thing is. So go to Image, Adjustments, Revert to Original. Okay, so here we are. Now, of course, there are templates here, okay? And the templates are kind of amazing, especially if you don't want to play with all the bells and whistles. So it's smart. It knows it's a face there. So I can go click on Essence. All right. And then there's just different ones you click on and see. You can see what they do. Click around until you see something you like. This is my friend Moni. We were out doing a fashion shoot for her label. Stop for breakfast. And then you can you click on this to see the before and after. So you can see they're pretty subtle adjustments. If you don't like those, you can go pick a different one. Like down here under maybe easy portraits. There's probably lots of options in here. High key, fade, vignette. I like to click on these things because they just give you ideas. There's monochrome ones. Incoming questions you can see. Black and white always looks good. It always looks good. Oh, I'm getting a lot of messages there. But maybe I'll just go click on this one. People think I'm an expert in New Zealand, so I'm always getting questions about, like, what do we do in New Zealand? It just so happens I am an expert in New Zealand, so I'm the perfect person to ask questions to. Okay, so there we go. So that's that. Then usually after I find something I like, I go make little tweaks. And the amount of stuff you can do to someone's face is actually incredible in this tool. Okay. So I'll say edit. And this one I'm going to take to an extreme. Okay, I would not normally do this much stuff because I think all faces are beautiful just as they are. All bodies are beautiful just as they are. But there's always tweaks, and especially if you're working with a model or whatever, they may want something done, or you may be looking for a certain look or a color palette or whatever. So let's go here to face, portrait. Okay. So I can open this one up, face, and there's all kinds of stuff you can do in here. So we're just going to play with it and have some fun. So you can adjust the amount of light that's on the face. Like you have like an extra catch light on there. You can slim the face and make her skinnier if you want to. All right. It's fine how it is. You can make the irises pop out more. An iris flare. So if you look close at her eyes, there's a little flare on the bottom. Here, should we zoom in? Yeah, so you can see how the iris, there's a little notch on the bottom there. It's kind of neat. You can make the eyes bigger. Kind of weird, like an alien. Teeth whitening, which is not a thing here. Eye enhancer. It makes the eyes glow a little more, so she looks like an alien from V. If she has some red eye, but she doesn't. Dark circles, real dark circles. Improve eyebrows, kind of makes them darker and more intense. You can also do adjustments to the mouth. It doesn't work in this case because she's covering half of her mouth, but you can see the sort of things you can do. And here under skin, this is kind of how smooth her skin is. You can make her look as smooth as a Japanese sex doll. That's a weird thing to say. Not that I know how smooth that is. I imagine they're like super smooth, almost frictionless. Weird thing to say. And then skin defects removal right there. I don't think of a mole as a defect, but apparently this is a much more judgy program than I am. Yeah, so there you go. And then if you have a whole body in the shot, you can change the shape of the body and the abdomen and all that jazz. And then when you're all done, you can just grab this before and after and look at it. I went a little bit more extreme here, but of course you can make your own adjustments and see. It's all kinds of other adjustments you can make. You can go here into creative and you go grab the mood. I usually like these. These are LUTs, lookup tables. And as you roll over these, you get different kinds of looks. And there are some really good ones. So you can be as creative as, ooh, that was nice. Dallas, that's where I was born. Yeah, so if it's too much, you can adjust the how much Dallas is in there. There you go. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, so definitely check out the new Luminar. It's fantastic. They keep adding more and more stuff. I use it more than Lightroom now. I think it's just incredible. I think they're a great company with great engineers. And it's lots of fun. It's a good way to explore your own creativity. So just click on the link down below to grab it. And also, if you happen to be a Passport member, a little upsell for you. If you're a Stuck in Customs Passport member, I put out new videos every Sunday, and you'll have access to all 200 previous videos. And I just added my book, my latest book, to the collection, so you get that for free too. So come sign up for that. Okay, now I'll give you my own theory. It had nothing to do with photography, maybe a little bit as an ancillary on body dysmorphia and face dysmorphia. So I noticed that pretty much everybody, a lot of this came out from writing the aforementioned book. Pretty much everybody has body dysmorphia and face dysmorphia. That is, when you look in the mirror, you see something on your body you don't like, or you see a few things you don't like, something about your weight or your shape or whatever. And then I think also people have face dysmorphia. They see one or a couple of things on their face they don't like. I have both all the time. You know, I look at myself in the mirror. I think this is disgusting. How dare I ever remove my clothes in the presence of other humans? Even myself, I offend myself looking at this. I'm just kidding. Actually, I am. I say this about myself, and I mean it. And this is not an egotistic way. Like I love my body. I know there's room for improvement, right? But I still love it. I love my mind. I know there's room for improvement, but I love it how it is. And I think this is a nice, positive thing to say. I think probably because I do what I love, and I have a full life. I have lots of friends and family and loved ones, and I have purpose and meaning and all that stuff, right? Which is good. That's kind of your life's goal, right? This is really turning into a Tony Robbins session. But to find your life's calling, and then when you're doing what you're meant to do, you just feel good. And you come to love yourself and love your body, and that's a good place to be. But it's very hard nowadays with this kind of body dysmorphia. And I think the reason that everyone has this to one degree or the next is it's not just Instagram where you're constantly comparing yourself to people all the time. But I think it's just even the invention of mirrors. Who invented that thing? What bastard made a mirror? Because like, if you think about it, anthropologically, 99% of our ancestors never got to see what they look like. They just kind of look out of their viewport at other people, so they can't compare. You might occasionally see a little bit of yourself in like a still pond or something, but it's not real. It's kind of a weird angle you don't really get a full body shot in a pond. I guess if you go do like a running jump, like off of a rock, then right before you belly flop, you might get to see what you look like. But that's actually what I look like in the mirror. I just panic when I see myself. But no, so like I think because our ancestors have never had to look at themselves, we don't have a brain system to understand it, or to compare ourselves, or to accept ourselves. We find looking at ourselves to be like shocking, like, oh, that's me. So the brain doesn't really know how to handle that. And you're constantly seeing all these other beautiful people all the time, and you think like, wow, I look like some street side piece of trash, some like meth addict that's stuck in the corner of an alley. So anyway, I think just the realization of that you don't have a brain system, a cognitive ability to deal with this, or to be cool with it, or to be zen with it. I think just the realization of that will help just a little bit. All right, well, welcome to another episode of Trey editing photos and talking about things that are very loosely related to it. Philosophical deep dives. All right, guys. Love you. Get Luminar. It's super awesome. It's lots of fun. And when it comes to like editing photos of people's faces, generally just do what your partner says. Like if they want it edited or whatever your model wants or whatever, like if they like it a certain way, just go ahead and do that, right? Just listen to the woman. I said this in another video, it bears repeating. I find that when I listen to women, it makes my life go easier. It took me a while to figure that out, but I pass on this knowledge to you. I'm dripping down sweet ambrosia from Mount Olympus itself, just for you. All right, guys, love you, and see you next time. Bye.